Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me here with this very, very special edition of Conversations with Taz. Uh, some of you that have been around for a while know that there used to be a series, an intervention series, where conversations that needed to be had regarding real life internet beefs, we would bring them to the table, everyone say their side, and we would squash it and move on. We tabled it for a while because people seemed to be able to hash it out on their own, but recently, uh, one creator has invoked a swarm of other creators to attack Mona. Now, Mona is my Monday co host, but we are going to remain impartial and let everything speak for itself. Thus far, 8 months after a group of individuals came together at Mona's residence, there are harmful allegations being tossed about. Now, these allegations include abuse and neglect of children and a relapse into addiction. I started to have questions because tossing dirt on the internet does what if there's care or concern to alleviate these things? I've sat back and so have other people and asked, where's the evidence? Where are these receipts that are being passed around behind the scenes? And why did this make it to the internet? I'm too old. No one's going to believe the receipts. I don't keep things like that. Well, there's personal information in it. You've put this woman's address on the internet. You've put her personal information on the internet. You've talked intimately about her living in poverty. Why now hide from showing evidence to confirm your claims? And what is that online discourse going to do for children that you're screaming are in danger? Now, within the past 72 hours, the ringleader has turned on two individuals that they reached out to, has decided that they have a family vacation planned and that they're not really going to be talking about the situation, and has alluded to them needing to move due to a swatting threat that has not been substantiated by anyone. Where they stated that the swatting threat came from on the internet, myself and four other individuals went looking, we could find nothing. The person who started all of this also has a long history of using AI and Photoshop for their receipts. My thing is, if you are concerned about someone, you go to that person. You get them the help that you believe that they need. Online back and forth with sketchy, vague commentary, not willing to show these receipts that you all are passing around to, from what I've counted, hundreds of people at this point. What difference does it make to show it? Therefore, last night, An invite went out to everyone that I personally knew about, that I have seen with my own eyes, that have been involved in this online discourse. If there are other people who have a commentary, my apologies. I did not know that you exist. Anyone who does know of their existence, please feel free to invite them to the conversation and I will send them the link to come up and say their piece. But after today, there should be no more conversation about this because it is becoming blaringly obvious that resolution isn't in the cards. Because if resolution was the end goal, this panel would be overflowing. So, like I said, the invitation went out, not just publicly online, but via text message and via phone calls. Who showed up? Mona showed up. Can't hear you. You're muted.
Fan. Hi.
There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize myself and I'm going to let you tell your story, and then we will come back and do Q&A. Keep in mind there are things that are open that cannot be discussed. Therefore, if any of the questions step into that territory of legality, we will not answer them. We will not address them. They're plausibly in the future. We will come back and you can get more details. And like I said, anyone who has been a part of this discourse, I will have no problem adding them after the fact. But remember, this is about remedy. The stage is yours.
Okay, so October 2023. So like a whole what, 8 months? 8 months, yeah, 8 months ago. The 25th, yeah, 25th, no, 26th, sorry, 26th. My 6-year-old baby cousin was murdered. And I was, obviously distraught and whatnot at the time. At the same time, two of my cousins was already planning on coming down to visit for a little bit, okay? And then Murphy was like, well, I'm coming too because you're not going through this alone. So I was like, hoorah, support, because I was completely fucking honest. And I was like, I want to relapse. Like I do. Like I am fucking tore up. Everything's wrong. Like I'm just over it. And so in my head, I was like, my friends and my family are coming to support me during this time. And that's not what the fuck happened. So Murphy got here the 26th. It was like later that evening, probably around like 5:30-ish, maybe. We immediately, she didn't even come in the house. We immediately went to dinner because she was like, I'm taking you and the kids and your man out for food. And I was like, okay, cool. So we all go for food. There are pictures on my Facebook that is like public, so y'all can go look, of both of my children in clothes with shoes and not nappy hair. Like that same day that she got here. Okay. We go to dinner and then we go back to her hotel room to grab something for her, one of her kids, go to Walmart. And then she drops us off back at the house at our apartment and said she'd be back in the morning. Okay. And that was the end of like the first fucking day. The second day, she shows up at like, I don't know, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock maybe. Time is weird. Brings like donuts and shit for breakfast. Like everything was fine. We sat here and we chilled for a little bit. And then she was like, well, let's go to the pumpkin patch. Okay. And so I was like, okay, cool. We can do that. But she was like, but first I'm going to go and clean out my car. Yeah. The pics are before she bought anything. Like literally she had just got here. She was like, first, can you watch the kids for a little bit while I go clean out the van and then we can all go to the pumpkin patch? I was like, yeah, sure. No problem. She left her children here with me for almost 2 hours. So like, why would you do that if shit was so horrible and I'm all strung the fuck out, Anyways. So she gets back, we go to the pumpkin patch and they're like, no, we're closed. So she was like, fuck it, we're going to Pittsburgh. Okay. So we did. We drive up to fucking Pittsburgh, spend the day, well, what was left of the day, come back home. It was already after dark and shit whenever we got here. Like the kids come inside, like the kids are playing and everything. Me and her and my man sat on the porch and like, Um, Everything was fucking fine. And then the next morning, Porg was supposed to be showing up. Okay. Now, also during this time, I had told Murphy, I was like, listen, there's extra people coming that I wasn't expecting to come. And like, it's the end of the month. We don't get food stamps until the 3rd. Can you run Babe to the pantry so he don't have to walk so I can make sure that like we've got enough shit until food stamps? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Did that. Like, she drove him to the pantry, got the food, and brought it back. She knew there was food. Okay. The next day, Porg gets here. When Porg gets here, she also brings more fucking food. I don't know. She brought like 20, 30 pounds of fucking meat and some rice and vegetables, like all kinds of shit. The problem was not that there was no food in my house. The problem was that there wasn't junk food in my house, which was what her kids wanted to eat. And apparently, like, feeding your kids actual home cooked meals is neglect now. Okay. Pork gets here. We go to Pittsburgh again. I don't know why Pittsburgh either. So we go to Pittsburgh again. Only this time, she was like, we're staying the night. Not Porg, Murphy. She's like, we're staying the night. And I'm paying for everything. Nobody has to cut. Like, I've got everything. I'm paying for food. I'm paying for the rooms. Like, we're all going to go and have a great time because Mona's sad and we're going to get her out of West Virginia. And I was like, I don't like public. Like, I don't want to leave home. And she's like, we're fucking going. I was like, okay, I guess we're going. So Port gets here. We drive up to Pittsburgh, meet Courtney in Pittsburgh. Okay. There was 3 hotel rooms, and me and my partner and 2 kids was in one. Murphy and her 2 kids was in the other, and then Porg and Courtney in the other. So we look at the room keys and realize that me and my 2 kids and Murphy and her 2 kids are on separate floors. Okay. And so Murphy was like, well, let's switch the rooms around so that all the kids are on one floor and they can like play and have a great time. And I was like, I wasn't fucking thinking. Okay. None of us were at the time. I was like, yeah, sure. That's a great fucking idea. Mind you, the rooms was in the names of the people who was originally in the room. Okay. So I'm in room 731, which was under Courtney's name. And Murphy and her kids was in the room beside us, which was 730, which was under Porg's name. And then Courtney and Porg was in like one of the lower floors. I don't know what they was on a whole different floor. And their room was under Murphy's name. Okay. Like, it was all fucked up. So we swim, we eat, we play, we have a grand old time. We check out. Okay. Courtney's sick as a fucking dog. So me and her head on back to my house. Okay. Me and her, I think Angel was with us. And then my partner and Porg and my son was in Porg's car. And Murphy and her 2 kids was going to, I don't know, I think Cincinnati or something. They wasn't coming back. They was going to go do their own thing. We get back at the house, and then like a few hours, like we're all chilling, hanging out, and a few hours later, Porg was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is there a $250 charge on my card? So she calls the hotel and figures out that it's because the room was completely fucking trashed. There was like pizza boxes and shit everywhere, stains all over everything, and it like reeked of marijuana smoke. Okay, like just to the point that, according to the email that I have from the hotel, they couldn't sell it for, I think it was 2 days, because they couldn't get the smell out. Okay, so I felt fucking horrible because I was the one that had invited these people, and then like the original plans got hijacked, and we ended up in Pittsburgh, and now they're out $250. Okay, so I called Murphy, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't call her. I texted her. I messaged her on Instagram, and I was like, so the room you was in got charged on Corb's card. Can we fix that? Okay, and she was like, that was your room. And I was like, nope, it was not. The email clearly says that it was room 730, which was your room. I was in 731. Hold on, bub. Sorry, my kids is coming in the house. They was at church earlier. But hold on, bub. I'm on a podcast. I love you. Okay, sorry. So me and her get into it, okay? And there are some of the messages from that on my TikTok. So she refused to pay for it, and then she flips the entire script, okay, and starts like screaming at me, talking about, you should be the one apologizing. Y'all can go upstairs. She just stay in Bub's room. She was like, you should be the one apologizing to Porg because the room that you was in smelled so bad, like cigarette smoke and weed smoke and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it literally has the room number on the emails. Like, what are you talking about right now? We end up going back and forth, and then like her and Port go back and forth for a while, and she just kept like being irate, and she was like, I know that you were doing drugs in that room because I could smell it. And I was like, you don't know, I wasn't, like, literally was not. And she was okay. And she just kept fucking insisting that like she wasn't paying for it because it was me. It had to have been me. She knows it was me because it's okay, Mona. Like, I know that you're on drugs and relapses happen. Just admit it. And I'm like, I'm not admitting something that I didn't do. Y'all are fucking crazy. Like, stop. So it was apparent at that point she was not going to pay for the room. Like, she just wasn't. And like, honestly, I thought that was the end of it until like later that night or maybe early the next morning. She messaged me and was like, there's some stuff coming to your house. Just let Nessa know if you need anything else or if the kids have outgrown stuff or it doesn't fit. And I was like, that's weird, but okay. Um, and then like Nessa had been messaging me for a while talking about, you've got stuff coming this day, like literally for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, y'all. Every single fucking day. There was boxes from Amazon coming, fucking shit from DoorDash, like sending groceries and shit. Like, it was to the point at one point I had to give some of the groceries away because I didn't have room for them. Like, I live in a fucking Section 8 4-bedroom apartment. Okay, like I don't have a whole lot of fucking space. And she had people on the internet just giving them my address to like send shit to me. It was stressful as hell. Like, it was ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. Um, so eventually, like, I had asked Nessa, I was like, listen, it feels like that she's doing that like white woman thing where she walked into the poor brown people's house and didn't like the fact that like they didn't have all the finer things in the world and is like trying to white saviors, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like that. Like, don't help me if that's how you're gonna do it. And during this entire fucking time, she was on TikTok, Murphy was, talking about all of these things that she allegedly like saw in my home that was just wrong. And talking about how, like, if you ask me for money and you spend it on drugs, then I'm just gonna, send you food for your kids. First of all, I never these receipts are also on my TikTok. I didn't ask her for the money that she sent me. She did send me $500 back in September. It was on my mom's birthday, my dead mom's birthday, and I was sad as shit. And she was like, I just thought she was being nice. Like, I even messaged her in the messages that I shared on TikTok and was like, what the hell is this for? Like, I didn't ask you for anything. And she was like, oh, well, I just had some extra and thought you might like need some stuff for the house or whatever. And you can go and, grab you a sack or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks. Didn't think nothing of it because this is my cousin. This is my friend. Um, but now she's using the fact that she sent me that money as proof that clearly I have relapsed, obviously. Um, or that I don't know, that I was like taking money and using it for not what its intention was, which I didn't ask for it. And the intention was groceries. That's what she said, was like, get you some groceries and buy you a sack. And so I did, and also help my fucking neighbor pay off his shit so that he didn't get evicted, but whatever. So come to find out, she had told Nessa and some other people that was over there that whenever she was here, that I had no food at all, even though she literally took my partner to get food. And she helped unload the food from the car of my other cousin that had come. So there's lie number one. She knew there was food. She told them that like my house was disgusting and gross. My house was messy because there was 10, 11 people in a 4-bedroom apartment whenever she was here. And four of them were children, ADHD and autism children. Okay, so it was messy, but it wasn't like disgusting or anything. She told them that I had a dog chained up that I was starving to death. Actually, it was my dog Morticia, who was 9 years old, and she had fucking stomach cancer and was dying, like actively dying. And she could have just asked. Like, she could have just asked. I could have even showed her the fucking vet bills if she wanted, but no, didn't want to do that. She wanted to go run her mouth. So all this shit that she tells Nessa and tells the internet and is spreading it as if it's just factual evidence when it wasn't. And the only reason that I even found out about it was because Odin, sorry, I'm gonna say your name. Odin called me and he was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, I'm sitting at my house. What you mean? And he was like, Nessa is saying that Murphy's starting to call CPS on you. That was the first time. the first time that anyone had ever approached me about any concerns or anything. Like, I just thought she was being a fucking crazy ass white woman, and I don't know, had more money than sense that she was spending, you know? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so, like, we talk about it. I explained to him what actually happened and anything. Um, and it was just like, I was like, y'all are fucking nuts. There's literally proof that you're lying. Like, I don't understand what the purpose is other than to avoid paying the $200 for your freaking hotel room that you trash. Like, this is insane. Like, I literally didn't talk to her after that. Like, I didn't talk to her. I didn't go on the fucking internet blasting anybody. I just went about my business and did like history content like I normally do, and just chalked it up to a bad fucking experience and learned my lesson. Don't let people that have that type of a history into your fucking house, okay? And so then fast forward to, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I get messages that's like, Murphy's bringing shit up again and is once again threatening to call CPS. And I was like, well, okay, let her fucking call him. I'll invite him in for coffee. Like, I'm not going to sit here and worry about shit whenever I didn't do anything, you know? Um, and so over the last couple of weeks, between Murphy and Coco and Dominic and Bree and other people that I literally have never even interacted with, like, I know them, like those people, but the other ones that are making videos and shit, literally had never interacted with them at all. And they've made hundreds of videos over the last 2 weeks, all about me, and all alleging that they have all of these receipts and all of this proof, but refusing to show any of them. And I've made one video, like, with receipts proving like what I was saying was true, to like clear my name, because CPS showed up at my house day before yesterday. And the guy walked in and he was like, "Is your name Ramona Hayes?" I was like, "Nope, but you want me anyways." So, like, they don't even, like, they just put my fucking name right in their report. That's a little bit crazy. You're so worried, but you couldn't even get my name right. Okay. Um, so, like, the CPS worker came in and he was, like, looking around. He was like, I mean, everything looks fine, you know? He asked me, like, do you have any idea who could do this? I was like, yep, sure as shit do. So then me and the CPS worker sat here in my house, in my living room, and watched Murphy's TikTok and watched Dom's TikTok and watched Coco's TikTok. And I was like, this is what's happening. This is why it's happening. Because they need the fucking attention. And he was like, yeah, that's a lot of videos they've made about you. He was like, how many have you made? I was like, one. And I showed it to him. Because at that point I made like one vague video that I hadn't named anybody. So I showed him that one. I was like, this was it. Just this one that has no names or anything. And he was like, okay, well, I think everything's okay. So I'll be back, tomorrow, whatever. And they're still fucking going on. Like, they're still just, they're like, I don't have to show you receipts because my character will vouch for me. Like, they're not receipts. It's literally evidence. Like, you've made it a legal thing now. So that's like, you're talking about it as if it's like high school, and it's not. Like, this is real life. Like, it's real fucking life that you are trying to, like, I don't know what, like, bring me down or whatever. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's fucking crazy. But anyways, yeah. They're also saying that back in October, whenever my baby cousin died, that I made it all up. That I made up the fact that my 6-year-old cousin was murdered. They don't even know that baby's name. They don't know, like, they don't know my family like that. They've never met me in real life, with the exception of Murphy. And her reasoning for believing that I made the whole thing up was because I didn't cry enough for her. Like, people do not have to, like, portray their grief the way that you think that they do for it to be real. And it's also really fucking disgusting to sit there and say that someone would lie about a 6-year-old. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all of it. I don't even know all the shit that they're saying, like, all the shit they're talking about, but, like, none of it's true. And what is true, like, the shit with the dog, is explainable if someone had just asked. But they didn't. They just assumed. And they assumed the worst and then ran with it on the internet and are spreading it to anyone that will fucking listen. So, yeah. But there are receipts on my TikTok if anyone wants them. I can provide receipts about, like, the hotel and my fucking cousin, and anything else that's not, like, CPS or investigation related, because that's, still happening. So, yeah, that's my story. And they're just going to say whatever the hell they want to, I guess. Okay, Taz, come back now. It's weird.
I'm here. I've been joined by Puppers.
Hey,
He's
Pupper.
he's invested. Um, Now I love you. Let's go through some questions that were brought up in videos,
Okay.
just for transparency and to, be open. Now, one claim was that it was evident that you relapsed because of a partner's relapse.
My partner relapsed last January, February ish. Um, and he had been completely clean and sober for 4 months by the time that they came to my house. Um, and I'm not real positive what his relapse has to do with me. Like, that's crazy.
And
And this is of
just
2023, not 2024. January, February of 2023.
that was my next question. And also for clarification, this, I guess we can say meet and greet, occurred also in 2023.
Yes, it was October of 2023. It was like the weekend before Halloween. It was like the 26th, 27th, something like that was when they came down.
Now, a major claim that, from what I saw, once again, my questions are coming from what I saw with my own eyes. So if anybody has any additional information, once again, feel free to put in the comment section and it will be addressed within certain parameters. But once again, let me just repeat, my questions are coming from what I've seen with my own eyes and heard from my own ears from what's been put out there. Now, there were two creators who made a claim of you grifting.
Mm-hmm.
True, not true.
No, it's not true. They're talking about, because like there have been a few times that I've been like short on an electric bill or whatever, and I've always shown proof that like it was paid, like the bill was paid afterwards. Or like for my baby cousin's funeral, I was like, I don't have the money to get to fucking New Jersey, you know. So people had helped pay for the bus ticket there. Um, and then I've always, literally, ever since I've got on TikTok, I've always used my platform to help other people, like raise funds whenever they needed them. And I typically do it for like people in domestic violence situations or people that are in like time sensitive and very like personal situations that like maybe they can't have their face on it. You know what I mean? For like, security reasons or whatever. And they're saying that because like I won't tell you, like, well, this person that lives at this street is the person that I'm raising money to help escape their abusive partner, that it's grifting. And I'm like, well, I mean, you can believe that if you want to. I'm still not going to tell you who the fuck it is that I'm helping whenever their partner could see it and fucking kill them. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, either help or don't help. But to call it grifting because I was helping like domestic violence people or freaking retired veterans that needed help, like that's insane. Like,
Yeah, that is the number one rule for health. Are you repeating my question? What? Also, there was one particular creator who vaguely hinted at Murphy's credibility, which caused, through a series of comment sections, questions to be asked about how you came to, I guess, a friendship initially with Murphy. If you wouldn't mind
okay,
discussing.
so I met Murphy on TikTok in, I think it was like 2021. I don't know. Time is weird. It was a few years ago. Um, like I had met her in a random fucking TikTok comment section, and we figured out that her family and my family, like historically, come from the same areas. Okay, and we kind of bonded over the whole like Appalachian thing, you know. And then we figured out that our families were actually related through her like Oliver line and my Mays line. Like somebody married somebody at some point, like yay cousins, okay?
Mhm.
And like I'd heard all of the like I'm a reform school terrorist, blah blah, and like honestly, I thought she was full of shit. But I was like, people say shit all the fucking time. Like whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna be your friend because I can be anybody's friend, Um, and over the fucking years, like I never really got involved in her like weird ass obsession with like awe teach and shit because I didn't understand what the hell was going on. But like, we talked or whatever. And she came down here once in 2022. I think it was in like September. She randomly called and she's like, hey, the kids are at their dad's and I'm going to, I think she said New York or Pittsburgh, one or the other. And she's like, you care if I stop by for a little bit? And I was like, yeah, sure. But by the time you get here, it's going to be like really, really late, like midnight, 1 o'clock. And my kids go to bed. Okay. I was like, so you can come by, but like we got to hang out outside because my apartment's small and I don't want you to wake the kids up. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. That was before she even left her fucking house, okay? So she comes down and like we chill outside or whatever in her car and we take videos for TikTok and everything's cute and fine. And then apparently now she's saying that it was weird that I didn't let her in the house, even though she knew before she even left her house that my kids would be asleep by the time she got here. Like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, but that's how I met her. It was on TikTok because we're both from, Appalachia.
So October 2023 was the second time you all
That
had.
was the second time, yeah, that she had been here.
Okay. Well, that skips two of my questions. What? Do you have questions? Okay. Well, yes, yes. I
And
feel
also,
you.
I don't know how to put them up on here, but if anybody wants the proof of like the first time that she was here, because I know that's a claim that she's making that like that set off her red flags because I wouldn't let her in the house. She didn't even ask to come in the house because I told her before she got here that my kids would be asleep. It's 1 o'clock, like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. But if anybody wants that conversation, I'll be more than happy to fucking show it to you. I don't know how to put it up on the screen here, so.
Um, hush. What type of device are you on?
It's an iPhone.
Um, you should have the where it says presents on the screen. You should.
Mm, let me see here. The only thing that I got says edit name and edit audio avatar. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Maybe I can put it as the background, you think? Let me try.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Go back. Oh my God. I'm bad at technology, y'all. Okay, anyway, continue. I'll figure it out, I promise.
And say if nothing else, you can send it over to me or send it to Courtney. She can send it to me and I can put it up.
Okay.
But
Yeah, Arena. Yeah, there was the magic van because she had like all those fucking squishmallows and shit in the car and like brought snacks and we was sitting outside in like cow pajamas being like fucking teenagers again and I thought everything was great. Like wild.
it's beginning to sound a lot like premeditation.
Yep, sure shit is.
Um, hmm. Like I said, hold on, because that now puts me a little bit out of whack with my
Arena,
question.
your memory is immaculate. Look at you go.
Um, nope. Bear with me just a second, you guys, because I have to cross out some of these questions because they're outside the parameters. Um,
Yeah, Luna, I do. I've got pictures that I'll post them later. I'll make a video later. I've got pictures from that. I've actually got videos from it. Whenever she was in like fucking pajamas and brought me snacks and we was like, toked a little bit and everything was fucking peachy keen. I thought.
okay. Now, real quick before we go forward, I want to make something very, very clear to anybody watching this. This does not just pertain to this situation, but I want you all to keep this in the back of your mind anytime you're doing anything on the internet. The internet does not contain us by state. It does not contain us by territory. You can interact with people around the globe. Bullying and harassing over state lines is a federal crime. Local PD will not be the ones investigating you. And if it is proven that that is what you have done, they will not be the ones coming to knock on your door. That falls under the umbrella of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. You know, Hoover's love child. I want you all to keep in. And I'm saying that because a lot of people teeter on that and they think that, oh, the internet's not real. Whatever I say is okay. It is not. If you are going to make heinous accusations and then follow it up with docuseries on people and video after video after video targeting someone, just slinging mud, you can end up in trouble. And it does not mean that the person that you're attacking has contacted them. Other people can witness it and contact them. They can fill out the online FBI form and send your videos to them. And there are
And don't
people,
think that being across an ocean will protect you either, because there's also international laws
yeah,
against doing all that.
Interpol will get you. And there are people like myself and other people who work in IT that we do often get contracted out to verify IP addresses, etc. I'm just putting that out there because I want people to keep this in the back of their mind, because here lately, with the multitude of situations, I'm seeing people do this and I cringe every time. Like, do you not realize you could be putting your freedom in jeopardy? But with that being said, there are a number of people who know that this is false. They are in DMs, they are in inboxes, they are in text messages giving support, but then going to comment sections spreading misinformation, spreading, I'm not going to say misinformation, spreading falsehoods. And the fact now that Murphy is attacking yet another Black woman because she didn't fall in line. And Murphy has blocked Nessa. And Murphy is now for 87.3 hours this week. I wasn't joking when I said I was being thorough. 87.3 hours this week, unraveling, accusing people who have nothing to do with this situation of being Scientologists, being ableist, and attacking her. I went to those people's pages. They have said nothing about this situation, nothing about Murphy. From what I could tell, they have no associate. They don't know who Mona is. They don't know who Murphy is. They don't know what's going on.
And even the people that she's accusing of being Scientologist or whatever that do know me, we're not like super friends or anything. Like, we just know each other from being on TikTok. But the majority of them that she combed together, we never had an interaction at all. Yeah, 87.3 hours, and that's not including the hours that she spent going to like my like Black Mutuals DMs and being like, you need to block Mona right now. I've had 3 people come to me in the last 24 hours that she has went to them and been like, you need to block Mona because she's spreading Scientology harmful rhetoric and also abuses her kids, and you need to block her. And they're like, do you have proof of any of this? And she's like, no, but block her anyways. And then she ends up blocking them because they won't.
I also took note of a close to 30-minute docuseries by an individual who attempted to pull in another situation and 2 other creators. One, I don't understand how they were connected to this, so I'm not going to bring up their name or anything because I don't want people to speculate. And a whole nother situation that appeared to be squashed to bring it in. And I'm saying all of this for full transparency because there's some magician's tricks going on here where it's like I'm going to build this case against someone by connecting them to this, connecting them to this, connecting them to this to show you a pattern of who's around them. So they must be guilty of this. Someone knowing someone who engaged in infidelity has nothing to do with child abuse or drug addiction.
Nope.
Someone choosing to spend their money and having a connection to someone has nothing to do with child abuse or drug addiction. Being methodical and requesting the assistance of a Black woman and putting the onus of attacking another Black woman on the first Black woman is crazy work, especially to turn around and now attack said Black woman who
Yup.
refused to call CPS. You asked for a therapist or counselor. I'm not quite sure their official title. I'm sorry. I didn't want to pry too much into people's personal information. So official work titles, I would have to like look up their legal name and verify that. And I was not doing that. People's privacy has been violated enough. Um, that was intentional. That was to say, hey, I'm not attacking. Just like the person who put forth the docuseries said, I know that addressing Mona is problematic because I'm a white man.
Yet he still continued to do it. Riddle me that one.
But here's the thing. If you're the crux of this is you believe children are in danger, address it. And why address it online? Who are you saving
Yep.
by claiming to have all this information and you're not putting it out there? Once again, we have been on here for almost 45 minutes. I put in the comment section the email address for me to send the link to anyone. I've been sitting here. Let me give one more go round of my notifications, even though they pop up right in front of my face. Y'all can see I got my phone right here. Nothing. It is time to put it to rest. It's time to put it to bed. For one particular creator who got tossed in the middle of this, it is not for me to give you grace because I am not the person at the center of the situation. But I will say this, I can understand being fed incorrect information and you leaked out. Given your profession, I would have hoped you would have been more diligent in getting concrete proof and verifying it. But hey, emotions run high. And a lot of times we are driven by our emotions because we're human. But at this point, instead of trying to double and triple down and giving assessments of what Murphy's side is doing, because I did take note that each one of you all giving breakdowns, you're breaking down what they're doing in order to attack Mona. They're blocking her, blocking anyone that they know is close to her, spewing the hate where nobody can rebuttal it, and then going, see, she's not countering it, so it must be true.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. At this point, it is okay to say that you believed a lie. It is okay, even if you can't bring yourself to apologize, to just step away. Doubling and tripling down and calling people monkeys is not the way to go. Secondly, if you are outside of the United States and you are not well versed on how things work, shh. And lastly, for me, poverty looks different according to your skin. Y'all can act like it doesn't, but it does. In the midst of quite a few months of myself traveling, if a house being a mess equals neglect, when are y'all sending PETA or the SPCA to my house? Because there are times that I've come in and literally tossed a suitcase down and picked up another suitcase or tossed clothes and shoes on my ottoman in my living room and had to turn around and leave and came back and there was a mountain of crap. And for those who think that this was about drama or mess, no, this did exactly what it was intended to do. When the truth is on your side, you have no problem showing up, speaking on it, and putting the cards on the table.
Yep. And like when it comes to like for me personally, I know that people look at the fact that I really haven't said anything like on TikTok about it as like an admission of guilt or whatever. But like I'm a black woman with black children in West Virginia. I know how it ends whenever like CPS gets involved. Okay. And I wasn't giving them any fucking ammunition at all. Like every bit of fucking evidence that I have, the CPS workers now have. Like that's who needed to see my proof, not the internet. Like I wasn't doing it for like the fucking clicks and likes and drama like everybody else out here is. Like that's insane. Like I don't think that people understand that like mess and drama is super fun. Like who doesn't love a good gossip session, okay? But like this is real life. Like my real living children are in the middle of all this.
And
Like
not
that's
only that,
crazy.
from experience, saying something. And my mother taught me this long, long ago. May she continue to be the artifact that the British Museum wants. Y'all, I'm gonna keep telling that joke. Okay, you can get over it. Okay, it's funny to me.
Oh, the fucking British Museum, stop it.
Y'all can quit. Where y'all think I got my humor from? My mama. Oh, my mama. Okay. But she taught me that when somebody is slinging dirt, stay quiet at the beginning. Because the moment you say something, especially as a Black woman, they're going to focus on you. No matter what receipts, no matter what proof you bring, they're going to focus on you and they're going to read your emotions as anger, as distracting. And I've been in that position just a few years ago where somebody said that the look on my face was, oh, she's scared. No, I was annoyed. I was annoyed because one person said one thing and people decided I was a demon. But then when I got quiet, just like when Mona got quiet, they're spiraling. They're not able to handle the questions. And people have asked good questions. I saw one person ask said Black woman, other than word of mouth, what proof did you have? The video response she made to that comment did not answer that question, which told me there was no evidence presented. There was nothing. And when you leave people to spiral, that's why you now have them turning on each other. It is a matter of time before they have to start telling the truth on one another. And
Mm-hmm.
sorry, this is feeling very Kendrick and Drake. Don't tell no lies about me, and I won't tell no truth about you. Because if I am going to step out on a limb and say, hey, I witnessed X, Y, and Z, I'm bringing as much proof as possible. And I'm saying this as someone who had to have a lifelong friend arrested for actually abusing a child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking this lightly. That's why it took a while for me to say something, not out of doubt, out of if my friend needs help, let me determine, do I need to jump in my car and go help her?
And that's what the people that honestly cared about me or about my kids, that's what they did. They immediately, whenever they heard this shit, called me or messaged me or showed up at my fucking house and was like, are you good? Like, do you need help? Like, does the kids need anything? Like, are you okay? That's what like friends do. That's what community does. That's what any decent human that actually cares about the children they're talking about would have done.
Mhm.
Would at least reach the fuck out and see if what was going on. If you're just running your mouth on TikTok, then you don't actually give a shit about me or them kids. Like you just want the drama, and that's disgusting. Like that's gross. Like those are real kids. Like I sat here last night before last, and watched my son have fucking night terrors for the first time in a year because he was terrified that Brian of the CPS Bryans was going to come back and take him away, despite him being reassured that nothing bad was going to happen, because he was fucking terrified of having to go back to his father. And like, it's not a fucking game that these people are fucking playing. Like, he's my actual child having fucking night terrors because of the lies being spread. Like that.
And that was another thing I was going to ask, because when you make accusations like that and you weaponize CPS, people aren't thinking about the trauma that's caused to these children and how their life can be altered, because now you have children that are going to question, is their way of life normal?
Yep.
Is this how everybody else lives? Is this okay? Is mommy okay? Is daddy okay? Is it okay to do this? Is it okay to do that? Do I get to share, what I thought was an awesome weekend with my friends? It's terrifying. And these are kids that I think people forget. Kids aren't in control.
Nope.
Their comfort comes from their parents, their guardians, their caretakers being the ones in control and being able to protect them. Yes, Cassie, the am I normal? Now, in the comment section, anyone, like I said, there are certain parameters we must keep to. I know for the most part, I'm a one-woman team, but there are people who are gracious enough to volunteer their services. And when they give me parameters, I stick to them. So, like I've said throughout this, there are parameters that we do have to stick to. If anyone has any questions, any shadows of doubt, please put them in the comment section now. And yes, this will be up. There are 2 backups that will be kept of this. So those that are lurking and watching, if you think that you're going to mass report to get this removed, you won't. This isn't my first rodeo, number one. And number 2, be respectful. If you're here for clarification, get your clarification. And yes, let me say this out loud. Even though this is on a public platform, I want to make it clear you have permission to use any clips from here. Only thing that I ask is do not manipulate them in any way to take them out of context.
Thanks,
Oh,
Luna. This was my Sheen top. And don't say shit about Sheen either. I know they're bad. I don't care. Look at the shirt. That is cute.
you are. Look.
Thank you.
And yes, I do have to remember to take some breaths. It's because going through, I just went through the content. And it was heavy. And for me, the tism was strong this past week, because any of you all that know me, it has to make sense or I start to get a disconnect. And last night I start to glitch a little bit, didn't I, Mona? Because I was like, this don't make no sense. And I know I drove Mona crazy because I was asking so many questions, and I'm like, sister girl, tell me.
Like I was watching because like I wanted to know, like, what the fuck I was up against having to defend, and some of the, like, a migraine. Okay, some of the shit that they were just rambling, I was like, what? It doesn't make no sense. None of it makes any fucking sense. Or like somehow, listen, I had to Google what the hell Scientology was. Okay, like I knew it was like a religion, but I didn't know like shit about like what they believed or anything. Like I don't even believe in white Jesus. Why the hell would I be a Scientologist? Like that don't even make any sense.
Remember, my city is using eminent domain to get rid of the one Scientology church that's around the corner from my house, which I think is funny. Because when Scientology was getting tossed around, I was like, okay, I'm confused, but I've kept a little file of all the little pamphlets they've dropped off at my house. Because when I say it's around the, like literally, and I was like, okay, what does, I didn't, I still don't understand the connection. I don't understand how that leap was made, especially since a very openly vocal Jewish Black woman was accused of being a Scientologist. That was one of the
Babe, would you
times,
go check on the kids?
because I'm like, she's made it clear she's Jewish. She doesn't push this onto people. From my research, she's not a Zionist. She just is Jewish. So y'all don't make that correlation. So I was like, what? How with the Scientology? And just like you, I googled and did some more research into Scientology, and I'm like, you can't have a duality in Scientology. There are certain churches that don't have a problem. You could be a Buddhist and come to their services; they don't care. Scientologists are like, nope, you're a Scientologist above everything. You can't be anything else. You gonna be a Scientologist. Um,
And the
and
part that drives me insane about is like Scientologists, from my understanding, they don't believe in like mental health issues or like neurodiversity at all. Period.
they don't. And also, in my research, due to proximity, a couple of people who, that's the best way to say it, escaped the church,
Mm-hmm.
also stated that if you're not a celebrity or you're not wealthy, you have to give up all of your possessions and turn over everything to the church. And the people that they're accusing, I'm like, they're in their own homes.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of them, and then I dug deep to verify that I wasn't confusing them with other people. They've gone on vacations. They've done, like, they're living their lives for them. So I'm like, okay, I'm not confused on this. These are the rules. I don't I don't get the leap. And then to, in the midst of, I'm doing the right thing because I'm the neighborhood mom, keep pushing forth that they are a reformed school terrorist.
They lit a trash can on fire. I'm tired of calling them a damn terrorist.
I'm just like, this reminds me, and please excuse me, I could not remember his name for anything. Um, but the gentleman that got hacked up with a machete, but he was a school shooter who was released and was trying to make a name for himself on TikTok. It was
Oh
giving,
yeah, I remember him.
I
I don't remember
cannot
his name
remember
though.
his name. My apologies, you guys. And I just did not want that in my digital footprint for trying to look for his information. I didn't want it. I did not want that, um, for obvious reasons. But it was giving that. And I'm like, how are you saying that you're here for children, but you're literally contacting colleges for them to talk to you about what you did in 1999 as a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And that put children in harm's way. And to this day, you admitted that you wanted to harm people.
Yeah.
Um, and just to put this nugget in you all's heads, just because these two shows did a better job. Yes, I know it's fiction, but they do take from the headlines of breaking this type of mentality down. Um, Criminal Minds and now I just had a brain fart regarding the other show, but definitely in Criminal Minds. They did episodes. Oh, 911, the original show 911 with Angela Bassett, did shows where they talked about people who were either the hero or the antagonist in school, the media attention and everything that they got, that they crave for the rest of their lives. And they will keep creating scenarios where they can get attention. It doesn't matter if it's good attention or bad attention.
Yep.
Ah, yes, Romano. That's the name. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, yeah, John Romano. That was his name. Thank you so much for
And
that.
my question that I've asked everyone that's had something to say about this so far was, this happened in October, whenever she was here, October 2023. If I was a danger to my children, if things were as bad as what she says they were, and you were legitimately concerned about the safety of a 10 and 11-year-old at the time, why the hell would you wait 8 months to say something? Like, why would you wait 8 months to call the authorities if you truly thought that, like, they were in danger? Like, that makes no fucking sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Because that was like the first red flag for me, because I was like, did this happen recently? Because like when I got wind of it, I was legitimately on the train coming back here, and I was like, did this happen? And I was like, wait, we just talked the other day, like the confusion, and I'm like, okay, let me reach out for some clarification. Nope, this didn't just happen. So I'm like,
And I
that,
truly think that it was because, like, Murphy got bored and started fucking talking about it again, and I wasn't responding because I was like, I'm not dignifying this with a fucking response on the internet, you know. And she didn't get the fucking attention that she wanted, so she just kept escalating and escalating and escalating it. And I'm like, so, like, you really wasn't concerned about the kids because you would have been did something 8 fucking months ago. Like, not now just because I'm ignoring you. Like, that's crazy.
and that's a valid question in the comment section. And why put it on the internet and warn you?
Mm-hmm.
That still sits with me, because if you feel I'm a danger to myself or to others, why give me a heads up?
Yep. Because, like she's been talking about it for like 2 weeks at least, about, you have until this deadline or I'm calling CPS because of my superiors, which is just the voices in her head. But anyways,
But who was going
like,
to date?
if shit was really as bad as she said it was, me and them kids would have done dip before the CPS guy ever got here. Like, what you mean? Stop. Like, stop.
But here's my okay, here's another question that I have, because I did see that, or the whole ultimatum thing, but who was supposed to verify this?
Apparently, according, okay, Murphy claims that they are some type of mandated reporter, okay, that has a supervisor that they have to report to. And the supervisor told Murphy to have Coco make the call because Coco's a therapist or a counselor or whatever. And I'm like, that makes zero sense, because I used to be a mandated reporter whenever I was a teacher. And it was always like, you don't have to ask your supervisor. If you suspect something, call, like, period. Like, no. And then I guess the story is that Murphy's supervisor was going to call the West Virginia CPS and verify that I got my children taken. Yeah, actually, they're upstairs terrorizing each other in the room. So there's that.
Mm-mm. Mm.
Pam, don't make fun of the pumpkin queen. We really do have one of them here. Oh my god, y'all! Angel got stung by a yellow jacket yesterday, like a full 24 hours ago. Okay, and she is still upstairs right now, swearing she's dying. Like, she's
I would still be dying 6 months from now if I got stung by a yellow jacket. You hear me?
so dramatic.
I would be dying until 2026. Okay, don't. Mm-mm. If a yellow jacket look at me too long, I'm dying. Am I dramatic? Absolutely.
Absolutely, it's okay though.
Absolutely. My ankle swelled up while I was with Babe. Was I
She
ready
ain't
to go?
swelled up at all though. She ain't allergic to bees. I am. Like, I'm the one that's gonna be dead if I get stung. She's fine. She's just dramatic.
Down for the next 3 to 5 business months. Absolutely.
Not months, Cassie. No.
Yes. We are delicate creatures.
Okay.
That is our story, and we're sticking to it. Okay. Don't matter what we actually do. But all right. No one has shown up. Final thoughts?
They're liars.
Oh, final thought. If you're not an asshole and you want proof of anything that I said, like, you know how to get a hold of me. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, then you ain't close enough to be demanding proof of anything. So there's that. Anyways, I love all you guys except for the assholes, not them. I don't love them.
Yes. And for those that have been wondering why we have been on our Monday hiatus, here you go. Uh, we do have to be cautious of the content that we put out. And given that content on this channel is very viewer driven, and I don't trust y'all all the time. Y'all be sending us some fuck shit. So, yeah, we'll get it back in full swing in July. Hopefully, everybody will get a
Which
wild
is
hair.
also my birthday month, the bestest month of the whole year. I'm excited.
Okay, yes, we know it's your birthday month, but it is not the bestest month out of the whole year. It is the bestest month out of the whole year is April. Thank you. We all know that.
Not April. Why April? Is that your birthday month?
4/24, dear.
Okay, listen, 420 is absolutely the best day of the year. However, the month of April is like, it's real big sad because it's Babe's like dead dad month.
Yes, I understand that, but I overshadow all of that.
But
And
also his
I'm
daddy's
older.
funeral was on 420. Why would he do that? Why would he
First of
do
all,
that?
I'm older than you. Okay.
Okay, fine.
It feels
But
good to
so
be a
what?
big sister.
Cassie, absolutely not. September is not even in the top 3 best months. Stop it. And you know why. I love you, but no.
Do you remember? It's too cold in September.
It is too cold. And also it's too sad because like mom had to go be born and die in the same damn month. Why would she do that?
You vote for August. August is cool, okay? But August is also the month that my oldest child came into the world, and that little fucker had me in labor for almost 24 hours. So no thank you. No thank you.
Bubba had me in labor for 72. Like in actual labor for
First
72.
of
I was in
all,
pre-labor for 48 before that.
now let me
Holding your
explain.
lead, buddy.
If it would
Oh,
have went
okay.
past 24 hours, he would still be in my belly. You understand me? He just wouldn't have been born. He just would have been, we would, y'all
Okay,
remember
Big
that?
Dad, I love you.
Well, as always, like I said, this will be up. There are two others that I will keep. So if y'all want to try to mass report to get it taken down, this ain't my first rodeo. Also keep in mind that if you attempt to defame and or slander my name, I do have a team of attorneys because I'm a business owner. I'm petty and I'm from that bougie black brigade. And I will invoke the fact that I am the only daughter to my father expeditiously.
And
And keep in
also,
mind,
I also have lawyers because I might be a poor fucking Appalachian bitch, but I know people. Don't fucking play with me. Like, don't play with me.
and my man is crazy. He got hands and he just got his conceal and carry back. So play with me if you want to.
Oh, and
Because
also one more thing, and then I'm gonna shut up for real. I know that my address is on like the whole thing with my name and all is on the fucking internet. I'm aware. This is a stand your ground state, so do with that as you fucking will.
yes, and I do know that the pictorial leading to my front door is still out there. Um, I'm country through and through.
To the core.
And I know how to use a traditional bow and arrow. And if you've ever been hit with a bow, go ahead. Come on. I can't wait to see pull out game immaculate. Well, as always,
Yeah, Angel's upstairs.
Pepper's got beef with everybody. Each one teach one, each one preach
Arena,
one.
I love you.
So we will see you all later. As far as me, I'm going to go and get you all's journal prompts together for TikTok. And I will see you all back here on this platform on Tuesday. Make sure you show up and bring a friend and bring snacks. Cause I'm a hoot. Shit, bring a snack.
Not a hoot.
I'm country as hell. Of course I'm a hoot. I'm a hoot and a holler.
Y'all listen,
But
when Emery was here last weekend, and I was a little bit drunk because me and Jack got it going on for a minute. I did not realize how very country I sound when I am intoxicated. Like it's just straight up moonshine and cornbread.
well, when I get sleepy, both of my accents come together. And I didn't realize it until a certain somebody looked at me like, the fuck did you say? There's that. So I'm gonna
I
go get
love
you
it.
journal prompts together, then I'm going to change into my bathing suit and go sit in some water because it's hot. And keep in mind, I'm black, so yes, I'm gonna take a shower after.
Is that not normal? Is that not normal? Hold on, pause. Do the white people not shower after they swim?
They think that there's a subset of white people that think that swimming is a summer bath.
There there's there's chlorine in the water. It's got bleach in it. Why?
There are people that'll go to the river or the creek around here and think that that's a
I mean, like we got the rivers and the creek, but you still take a bath you definitely take a bath when you get out the fucking river. What you mean?
Especially on river.
Yes. But we went kayaking the other day and I heard a mother say, "Ooh, I'm so glad we got a week's worth of baths in."
Not a week.
And we went kayaking on the Little Miami River.
Did you see it?
No. They gon' die. Mm-hmm.
But every day that I think that I was raised with the whitest people imaginable, I am proven wrong. That is just all right then. Okay.
All right. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.